We'll go ahead and call the special August 12th, 2026 meeting of the TRPA Hearings Officer to order. It is 2 p.m. My name is Marcia Birch, and I will be serving as the Hearings Officer today. The first item is approval of the agenda. We have one item on the agenda. I'm guessing that hasn't changed.
Yes, there have been no changes to the agenda.
Okay, then I will go ahead and approve the agenda as it was posted. The next item is public interest comments for no action. At this time, members of the public may address the hearings officer on matters within the agency's jurisdiction that are not listed as public hearing items on this agenda. If you wish to comment on a public hearing item, please do so when that item is called. The hearings officer is prohibited by law from taking immediate action on or discussing issues that are not listed on the agenda. And Jessica, if you could check to see if we have any public interest comments.
Okay, we have no members of the public in the room or online, but I'll go ahead and make the statement just in case anybody shows up. Any member of the public wishing to address the hearings officer, please raise your hand now by clicking on the raised hand button at the bottom of your Zoom screen. There are no hands raised to comment.
All right, then I will close the public interest comments. The next item is announcement of appeal rights. Any decision of the hearings officer is appealable to the TRPA governing board. The notice of appeal, which can be found on TRPA's website, and associated fees must be filed within 21 days of the hearings officer's decision. All right, and that brings us to our public hearing items. And like I said, we have one. This is item 5A. It's Cody's Tree Service, new storage yard for tree service, 2030 US Highway 50, El Dorado County, California. Assessor's parcel number 033-152-002. TRPA file number ERSP 2026-0364. And Teresa Avance will present this.
Thank you, Marcia. I am Teresa Avance, Senior Planner with Permitting and Compliance, and this proposed project is a storage yard, seasonally accessible storage yard for wood product associated with a nearby tree service, and they are going to be using this lot for a storage yard for logs, firewood, associated wood materials. It will be seasonal. It will be gated during the winter to prevent access and tracking off site of wet material. And one key point about this is instead of paving the site, we are going to have them install 6 to 8 inches of a wood chip and wood mulch layer in all areas that would be accessed by vehicle or storage of the logs themselves, instead of paving and installing permanent standard BMPs. This was agreed to by our BMP team. This site is on Highway 50 and is minimally visible from that scenic corridor, but it will not include any structures on site, and it is currently fenced with cyclone fencing that is partially and will be fully screened with either a vinyl coating or a mesh of a dark color to prevent visibility of the stored materials. So yeah, that's the project.
Okay, thank you. I might have a couple of questions, but I'm going to go ahead and hear from the project applicant. And also, Teresa, have we received any public comments?
There has been no public comment.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Mike Dill with Aspen Environmental Services. I am representing Frank Cody and his storage yard project. Thank you for your time today, and I want to thank staff for all their time and help with working with us on the conditions of approval and gaining access and so forth. We've reviewed the conditions of approval and agreed to those. We've had some discussions today about the PAIA, the transportation and traffic analysis, with the understanding that we agreed to make the payment today, with the idea that if we can follow up with a comprehensive traffic analysis, that shows a lesser traffic generation, then we can get a refund on that mitigation fee. As Teresa mentioned to us, she'd like to see that at the most 60 to 90 days out and no further. Otherwise, we agree to all other conditions of approval, and thank you for your time and help.
All right, thank you. Teresa, the only question I had, I did look at the photographs, kind of the location and all of that. And I did read what you had there with respect to surrounding uses. But
Yes.
I just want to be kind of understand. I mean, this seems like this is not a use that is near enough to residential uses, where some of these what seem like possibly noisier activities would be an issue.
There are no residential anything in the vicinity at all.
Okay.
Nothing. In fact, this little neighborhood is isolated from the rest of the airport plan area statement by quite a distance.
Okay, I did go and, look at various materials to kind of see where it was. And I felt like that was the answer, but I just wanted to confirm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so other than that, I don't have any questions. So let's go ahead and open this up for public comment.
Okay. Any member of the public wishing to comment on this item, please raise your hand now by clicking on the raise hand button at the bottom of your Zoom screen. There are no hands raised to comment.
Okay, well, I will close the public comment period and I will take action. I will approve the findings contained in the staff summary, including a finding of no significant environmental effect. And I'll approve the project based on the staff summary, the record evidence, and subject to the conditions contained in the draft TRPA permit.
Thank you, Marcia.
Perfect.
All righty. Thank you. We are adjourned.
Thanks, Marcia.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's close to the
Once we're
shortest,
done.
but